Recall hearing from your kids, or maybe even when you were younger, where one of your siblings would call dibs on something, or shotgun when like you're gonna go out and they want to be the front seat. The idea of right of first refusal is kind of like that, except it's actually going to be codified into a court order. So it's essentially, imagine you want having a term in there that basically says, hey, if you're going to be gone from the children during your on-duty time for a significant period of time, say 24 hours, before you ask your mother, your father, somebody else to care for the children or the child, you have to give me the opportunity to take over that 24-hour period, or however long you're gone, be more so than 24 hours. In concept, it's a nice idea, and it's prudent. The children are much better off with the other biological parent than they are with extended family or friends or babysitter. But it can also be really problematic. It can be abused. Real important element here is the duration as to what you're going to trigger that to be. The shorter the duration, the more likely it is that it's a headache, more so than a tool. So 24, 12 hours, those are easy, reasonable sort of durations. And it's also like predictable. Maybe somebody's job is highly related to conventions. And so a lot of times it's on weekends, that falls during their on-duty weekend. That makes sense. Or maybe you've got somebody that's Army Reserve and like one weekend a month they got to go away for their duty. Something along these lines that allows it to make sense. Anything else, when it starts getting shorter, highly problematic. Can very easily be abused, and it's not easily remedied because, if there's some circumstance where it's supposed to be 8 hours and someone was going to come home on their lunch hour and be with the kids for an hour, and therefore it's like 4 and 4, and the 8 hours shouldn't have been invoked, except the fact they got hung up at work and they weren't allowed to have the lunch hour, and it ended up being 8 hours. And you're going to go to court over 8 hours of a right of first refusal being denied. Like, that's just going to make for more animosity and more friction later on as you're going along for all the other things that may come up that you need to be working out.